An arrow flew past a boy in a field. To anyone watching, it meant nothing. But to David, hiding behind a stone, that arrow carried a message, one that would decide whether he lived or died. What did that arrow mean? And why did a prince risk everything to send it? This is the story of the most dangerous, most beautiful friendship in the Bible. Before David held a crown, he held a harp. Before Johnathan commanded an army, he knelt before a God he could not see. Their friendship didn't begin with convenience, it began with anointing. The prophet Samuel had searched Jesse's sons, tall, strong warriors, but God said, "Do not look at his appearance or his height. The Lord does not see as man sees." Then came David, the youngest, the overlooked shepherd. Samuel poured oil over his head. That day, the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon David, not for fame, for purpose. A purpose no army could stop and no jealousy could undo. David entered Saul's court to calm the king's torment. Johnathan, the prince, watched this harp-playing shepherd. Johnathan became one in spirit with David, and loved him as himself. Johnathan stripped off his own royal robe, his tunic, his sword, his bow, his belt, his very identity, and gave them to David. In a world where princes take, Johnathan gave. Why? Because he recognized God's anointing on David, even if it meant David might outshine him. That is true friendship, seeing God's call on someone and protecting it, not competing with it. But then Saul's jealousy turned to murder. He threw spears, he gave orders, David fled. And Johnathan did something dangerous. He went straight to his father, the king, and defended David. "Let not the king do wrong to his servant David," Johnathan said. "He has not wronged you." He took his life in his hand and struck down the Philistine. The Lord won a great victory for Israel. "Why would you sin against innocent blood?" And Saul listened. He swore, "As the Lord lives, David shall not be put to death." For a moment, the anointing made a way. Jonathan's courage bought David time, but Saul's heart hardened again. The spear came back, David ran, and now the real test began. David hid in the wilderness, but Johnathan found him. They made a plan, a secret signal only they would understand. "Go and hide in the field, near the stone Ezel," Johnathan said. "I will shoot 3 arrows to the side of the stone. Then I'll send a boy to find them." Here was the signal. If Johnathan said, "The arrows are beyond you," that meant danger. The day came, Saul raged, Johnathan went to the field. He shot an arrow past the boy and cried out, "Isn't the arrow beyond you? Hurry, don't stop." David understood, danger, this was goodbye. They ran to each other, they wept together, David weeping the most. Johnathan said, "Go in peace, for we have sworn friendship in the Lord's name." That arrow didn't just mark a path. It marked a covenant. God's anointing didn't remove the enemy, but it gave David a friend who would warn him, not abandon him. Later, in the wilderness of Ziph, Johnathan went to David again. "Don't be afraid," Johnathan said. "My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You will be king over Israel, and I will be second to you," the king's son, willing to be second, not because he lacked ambition, because he saw God's purpose clearly. That is the power of anointing. It doesn't destroy others' dreams, it invites them into a bigger story. Johnathan saw a king, not a rival, and accepted his place in that story. Saul threw spears, Johnathan shot signals. One wanted David dead, the other wanted David safe. Anointing doesn't remove obstacles, it sends Jonathans, people who speak truth to power, who risk everything to say, "The arrows are beyond you. Run, but I will find you again." God's purpose doesn't promise an easy road. It promises a clear road, with friends who light the way. Years later, Johnathan died in battle on Mount Gilboa. David sang, I grieve for you, Johnathan my brother. Your love for me was wonderful, more wonderful than that of women. David didn't mourn a soldier. Here's what David and Johnathan teach us. First, anointing isn't competition. True friends protect God's fire in others. Second, true friendship builds signals for danger and safety. Third, purpose doesn't remove enemies, but it gives you clarity and direction even in darkness. You don't need an army, you need a Johnathan. Someone who loves you as themselves and loves God's plan for you more than their own status. And maybe you are called to be Johnathan for someone else.